WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WeFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, Sudan, it's now 7:45 and SV. Just now time for live for this commentary on this rainy Tuesday morning here at SVG. Good morning to you, live.
Morning, Maka and Roleza. Listeners of
Morning.
WEFM. I'm glad to see rainy, so if you see the internet tap off, you don't know what's going on.
Oh, Lord, we are not. You know, like back in the day too, when rain comes, you're thinking current rain go. Boy, those are the days, man. Those are the days.
I see the finally playing, but I'm saying where.
I noticed as well. I noticed and I noticed as well. So they no names were ever mentioned at any point in time. So
I want to know what's the secret to say, well, we find it in Trinidad, we find it in Grenada, we find it in... I want to know what's the secret. What's the big secret?
I suppose the secret might lie in why it is it quote unquote disappeared for a while as well too. So
they could at least say where they find it. I don't understand the secret. I think like sometimes in certain circumstances too much emphasis is placed on keeping the public in the dark. So when they keep the public in the dark, yeah, it just opens you up to a lot of speculation, right?
Or maybe the same reasons why we might be speculating the reasons why we're being kept in the dark.
No, I think they wait to us to say, well, we find it in Grenada and we go tell you why later. We asking why we like yeah, man, we asking, we wanna know what's up. No, for real, because like a lot of things happen and governments feel well they alone should know. I just talk about local government or whatever, just like regionally, internationally, things that affect us as citizens. They try to hide it from us for whatever reason, I don't know. But I want to know if it's possible to exist that I could get on a plane in Ireland and I get kidnapped and gone somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because if I jump on a private charter or a SVGA or a whatever plane and the pilot decide he can fly me somewhere else. We know we can fly somewhere else, because we just be on the plane and then we know we're supposed to land in Union, but then we land in Grenada or something, or Venezuela or some other country. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where people want to know, where was the plane found and why. Maybe we'll hear a little later, but I don't understand all these secrets behind it or whatever. I don't see the damage in saying, well, this plane was found in Grenada and we are investigating and we can tell all you why it landed there a little later. I think people would be comfortable with that. But to hear like, okay, we are telling all you nothing because investigation ongoing. People just go and speculate and say what they want, right? I know in other parts of the world, South America, when they see these little planes, what's going on. They disappear all the time. There are fields and fields of these planes in South America where, drug dealers just load them up with drugs, fly them where they want to go, fly them back and just abandon them. Because these are multi-billion-dollar operations that could discard a plane. So, people want to know. People want to know what's going on, and it make no sense. It's better than to come and say, we find it. So just leave it until they're ready to tell us where is it.
But then you also realize too, even when it came to light for us, it was maybe like a day and some after the fact, because I think I didn't realize it until Sunday. The articles on Sunday, and I had to look back when I was reading the article to see when it actually left AIA, which was since the Friday. So
and it seems as if it's not even the authorities that released the information. It's somebody that realized that it missed it. You have people that follow these things avidly, right?
We have one such list now.
Yeah. So somebody might come and say, wait, this plane left from here and, wait, gone. I think that's what happened. I don't think it's the authorities actually came out and said that this plane is missing. I think they spoke about it after someone highlighted it.
Yeah, and it was both SVG as well as TNT because they too were very, what's the word? Very vague. TNT also was very vague. Let me say TNT news reports, but I suppose it came from the authorities. Were very vague in terms of the information that they had released as well. So
Yeah.
So,
You want
nobody mentioned where the plane was from, whether it's Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica. Nobody mentioned anything.
I guess we have to wait on somebody in the public domain to talk about that because the authorities ain't really saying anything about it, right? I guess we gotta wait this on somebody who work at the airport and we're going on to leak the information or whatever. There's somebody who walk in and around the area that someone asks what happened, what was the missing plane issue. And by the time the person asked the person that question, all the information about the missing plane was already out in the public domain. But the response from the person they asked is what you want me lose my job? Like lose your job, all the information done out the everything. So I don't understand how you gonna lose your job for that. So people skeptical about speaking certain things, right? But there are just certain people who don't really who sensible and don't really care, you know. So I guess you gotta wait on somebody like that to tell us exactly what's going on because the authorities being
somebody who's sensible and don't really care.
yeah, I don't because like what's that? If okay, say for instance I work at the EIA and somebody call me and say, what happened with the plane? And I know, I gotta tell them how I could lose my job for that. All the information out in the public domain already. And most likely as not the one who put it out there. Everybody know everything. Everybody don't go online and check the plane, see what kind of plane it is. You know what I mean? Talk about how many passengers were on board or whatever. So how that could make me lose my job? I'm not the one who put the information out there. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. When the one went missing from Canada a few months ago, we got all the information. We knew the name of the pilot or whatever. You were able to Google the name of the pilot and see who he was, and we knew where it left from, where it went, where it turned up, what was on board. We knew everything. You know, it wasn't.
Yeah, we knew that in that case the transponder was off as well too. They turned it off. Really turned it off. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew everything, and it wasn't left up to speculation. It was just that the plane was involved with drugs. I don't think that, to be honest, right? I don't think that drugs that plane had on it when it ended up in Africa, I don't think that came from St. Vincent. I think the flight probably was, I think they took the plane from Canada, yeah, but where they went after, I think they went somewhere after and picked up the drugs or whatever and took it where they wanted to go. I don't think it originated from Canada per se, but that wasn't a secret. We all knew what happened and it didn't leave no room for speculation, right? But this one is leaving room for speculation because they're saying this flight had people on board, you know. Initially, someone told me 3 females, but I understand there's 2 females and a pilot. So we don't know what's up with that. We don't know where they went or whatever. But I guess we can hear just now when the secret disappears. Governments over the world, they hide things from the public. Like for instance, everybody wants to know: does aliens exist? What is all this secret with all these
Interestingly, hold on, let me read a comment here. Somebody said, and I won't call the person name. Let me see. So somebody very close to us has said, like, how the U.S. government hides info about UFO and aliens.
yeah.
We have a call. Let's see this call. Hello, morning.
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 I just called to say that the plane was registered in the Dominican Republic. That much I can tell you about it.
Well, that information was made known yesterday as well, yes.
You're arrested in the Dominican Republic. But it's a real mystery. But life I gotta agree with you, life, that at least I can say that the plane was found in Grenada, it landed in the sea.
Yeah, something.
You know, and we will give you more information as it comes down.
Yeah. You know?
But that's what happened. So that is a real mystery. And I agree you to also when you say that when you withhold information from people, that is a recipe for all kinds of speculation.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, guys, I really like to see or use them out of the news. For you to see. I see. You to tell me where it was found.
Yeah, I go try find out. Yes, definitely. Yeah,
Let's say use LYFLIFE.
both. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I listened it up for you, live.
yeah. Okay, no problem. I
Are
will try not.
you fully recovered? Are you because you're back on the job? So I suspect you're fully recovered.
I get in
Are you
there.
ready to go again?
I get in there.
You're gonna have energy to match Roleza, you know. She's a pocket rocket.
Mr. Hall, before you go though, do y'all have the word MAKO in Barbados? Well, or is MSCKO, Mako?
MSCO.
MSCO. Do y'all have that word in Barbados? Mako?
Mako, no, that's mostly a nickname, you know.
Okay, because you keep
people Mako.
Is the
That's the
second
nickname.
So it's the second time I hear you calling Mako, but Mako has a different meaning for us.
Yeah. And if I say Mako, I try to call the gentleman Mako. I gotta get connotations of authority.
Mr. Horn, that's the John accent. We understand.
Yeah, maybe so. So I must remember to say Maka, M-A-C-A, Maka.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
I must remember to say that and not to say Mako, because Mako it got a very negative connotation.
Exactly.
All right.
Mr. Maka, I want to apologize to you, sir.
No problem, Mr. Horn.
Touch.
All right, well.
All right.
Touch sing word.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Hahn.
All right.
Yeah. So people, I saw somebody comment. Sylvia, so you even know where they find that? The RSS must be keep them in the dark.
I do agree with you. They could say where it was at least found, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, somebody comment and say, man, them people in Sylvia say must be even know where that fight that get found. They keep them in the dark. Then somebody say, is the same like how they block the St. Lucia vessel in our waters and they tell us not up to now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But the thing is, what is the real essence of hiding to say where it's found? I don't understand.
You know, I it's confusing. Might have to Google that. Why would you have to get the answer?
And anything too is that when I heard about the plane disappearing, it's kind of rare for us to hear of these incidents happening here in the Caribbean, right? Or especially leaving between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and, well, elsewhere, right? So whenever it is that we hear of these, it's a little bit shocking and a bit alarming, right? And I had to go back as well to look at the time because I'm there saying if they left at 11 something a.m., persons are generally out, boats are already on the water and so forth, but you didn't hear of anything of a plane going down. So it's like I when it comes to the track record and the safety record of our airlines in the Caribbean, we want to know what is happening because we have a decent track record.
Yeah, and it scares us, right? Because there were like at least 3 incidents that I could remember that planes actually disappeared for real, crash, and people never found. So it kind of panics people, right? Like people wondering, like, what's going on, because there was that famous one with I think the pilot's name was Rashid, popular guy. That one when they say the air traffic controller went home, he was eventually fired. You remember that one?
I didn't. I know the incident, but I never heard of that reasoning.
Yeah, he had I think he had logged the plane as having landed and went home. You remember that was a whole big controversy. Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody's situation. I remember every now and again. I think his I know who it is. It's Keith Joseph. Normally would bring it up on his program at the ending of the program. He would say it's day whatever of the of the plane not being
Nisha's son, Branca.
Nisha Branca, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they had the person was walking had left before the plane landed. You know what I mean? Because like well, that was crazy, right? I think in other countries they would actually gone to prison for that. Because
And that's what I'm thinking as well, because how could you log something as having arrived safely and it didn't? Yeah.
Because it seems so routine, like, okay, left, yeah, expecting it to crash, you'll get your one home, you left or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know what's the secret. So people just speculating, and one of the speculation is that they probably even tell the authorities in Civil where they found the plane. They probably say, okay, we find it, and they're trying to keep it under wraps or whatever. But these little planes fly all over South America, and they do all kind of damage in the drug trade, right? So people are speculating along that line, but we don't know. We gonna hear eventually what's going on. I think moving on to something else more positive.
Okay, so let's take the break and we will come back. All right.
Okay.
All right, so we are going to take a quick break. This is part 1 of today's Life Today's commentary. Time right now to it is 8:01, and our time check came to us with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of